Welcome to the lecture series of electronic measurement and instrumentation. In the previous lecture, we have seen very basic block diagram of dual slope digital voltmeter because there was some error, sources of error in the linear ramp digital voltmeter. Maybe it is the duration of the clock signal or rate of rise of the digital ramp or linear ramp. They may introduce some error in the final measurement of the unknown voltage. So to remove the error, we are using dual slope digital voltmeter. In this voltmeter, one slope is generated when the input of the integrator is connected to the unknown voltage, and again another slope is generated when the input of the integrator is connected to the minus VR reference signal, negative reference signal. So we are comparing these two slopes. That's why this voltmeter is called dual slope voltmeter. So in the basic block diagram of the dual slope voltmeter, in the previous lecture we have seen there was an integrator circuit. There was an integrator circuit, then a comparator, output of this comparator is connected to the counter through an AND gate. Here is the clock generator. Input of this integrator can be connected either a positive voltage, unknown voltage Vx, or it may be connected to a negative reference voltage. So in the previous lecture I told that this switch is connected to this unknown voltage till a predefined time. In a predefined time period, this switch is connected to this unknown voltage, and after this predefined time, this switch is connected to negative of this reference voltage. So who will decide this predefined time? How much time we will give this switch to connect to the Vx, and how I will switch between Vx and minus Vr. So to control this switch, there would be some mechanism, and also in the previous lecture we have seen that we have to count these two times until this switch is connected to plus Vx. This is the time t1. Till the time t1, this switch will be connected to Vx, and after then there was another time t2. From t1 to t2, this switch will be connected to minus Vr. How would I count these two times? It is given that this time t1 is a predefined time. This is known to me. So who will decide this time and how much it will be? For the how much time this switch will be connected to plus Vx, and for how much time this switch will be connected to minus Vr. Who will decide these things? So to control the switch and to control this counter, some modification is needed here in this circuit. So we will introduce some more blocks in the circuit to control the switch and to control the counting of the counter. So these blocks are, suppose this is a clock generator circuit, maybe maybe a crystal oscillator or something else. This is connected to a frequency divider. Frequency divider circuit, and this frequency divider is now connected to a control unit, and this control unit will control this switch which is connected to input of the integrator circuit. This will control the switch S. So these are few blocks which will complete this design. Suppose the output, suppose the clock generator has a frequency of 2 megahertz. The clock generator has a frequency of 2 megahertz, and this frequency divider divides this frequency divider is nothing but these are the series of flip-flops connected in such a manner that they will divide the frequency of the input signal. So if it is 2 megahertz, then how much will be the frequency of the output signal? Suppose it is getting the clock like this. The clock generator is generating clocks like this, and suppose this frequency divider divides the frequency of input signal by 1000. If it will divide the frequency by 1000, then how much will be the frequency of the output of this frequency divider? This frequency will be divided by 1000 means the frequency of frequency divider, the frequency of this signal will be 2 megahertz divided by 1000. It will be 2 into 10 power 3 hertz, or it is 2 kilohertz. So the frequency of this signal will be 2 kilohertz. If the frequency is 2 kilohertz, then how much will be the time period of this clock? It can be calculated by time period is 1 by f, means 1 by 2 into 10 power minus 3. 1 by f means 1 by 2 divided by into 10 power minus 3. and this will be equal to 0.5 into 10 power minus 3. So the time period of this clock will be, let me make this simpler so that the understanding will be easy. Suppose the frequency of this clock generator is 1 megahertz, means the frequency of this signal is 1 megahertz, and this clock generator divides the input frequency by 2000. Then the frequency of this signal will be 1 megahertz, means 10 power 6 divided by 2000. Frequency will be 0.5 into 10 power 3 hertz. So how much will be the frequency? If the frequency of this signal is 0.5 into 10 power 3 hertz, then how much will be the time period of this signal? The time period of this signal will be 1 by 0.5 into 10 power 3. Frequency of this signal will be 1 by 0.5 into 10 power 3, which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 3 second, or equal to 2 millisecond. So if the frequency of this clock generator is 1 megahertz, then the time period of this clock pulse will be 2 millisecond. 2 millisecond means that this signal will be high for 1 millisecond and will be low for remaining 1 millisecond. It means that this signal will remain high for 1 millisecond and it will remain low for another 1 millisecond. This will complete the period of this signal, which is 2 millisecond. So this duration is 1 millisecond and this duration is 1 millisecond. Now this signal is applied to this control unit. It means that this control unit is getting, suppose this signal, I am representing this signal with B. So if this signal will be high, when this signal B is high, the control unit will shift this switch to the positive Vx input, and when this signal B becomes low, it will connect the switch to the negative reference voltage. So for the 1 millisecond, this switch will be connected to Vx, and for the other 1 millisecond, this switch will be connected to minus Vr. Now suppose for the first 1 millisecond, this switch is connected to plus Vx. For the first 1 millisecond, this switch is connected to plus Vx. In that duration, the output of the integrator will be like this. This duration is 1 millisecond. Suppose this time is t1. So for the first 1 millisecond, the input of the integrator will be connected to plus Vx. That's why this slope is increasing, and this slope is directly proportional to the amplitude of this input voltage Vx. The slope of this signal is directly proportional to this input voltage Vx, because as the value of Vx will increase, this slope is also increased. If Vx is increasing, then rate of change of this signal will also increase. If Vx is decreasing, then rate of change of this signal will also decrease. Now, after 1 millisecond, automatically this signal will go low, and when it goes low, this control unit will switch this switch from Vx to minus Vr, and when this switch is connected to minus Vr, the output of this integrator will start decreasing. It will, because the integrator will produce a negative slope. So when the switch is connected to this negative voltage Vr, this slope will start decreasing, and this rate of decrement depends on this voltage minus Vr. So this slope will be K into Vx. Rate of change of this signal will be K into Vx, and rate of fall of this signal will be minus K into Vr. Rate of rise is K into Vx, rate of falling is minus K into Vr, as discussed in the previous lecture. So this is time t1, this is time t2. Suppose in the first 1 millisecond, this switch will be connected to Vx. In the other 1 millisecond, this switch will be connected to minus Vr. Suppose at some time interval, suppose this is tau, in this time, this signal fallen from this value, this signal has been fallen from here to 0 before 1 millisecond. So in this case, we have to calculate this value only. I have to calculate the value of tau only, because this time is known to me, because frequency of this signal is known to me. If the frequency of this signal is known to me, that means this time is known to me. What I have to calculate is this time duration is known to me. It is 1 millisecond. This time is 1 millisecond. This time is also 1 millisecond. But if the rate of falling is higher than this rate of rise, then this signal will cross the 0 before this 2 millisecond, and I have to calculate this time when this signal is crossing the time axis. We have to calculate this time from 1 millisecond to tau. I have to calculate this time only, because this is known to me, it is 1 millisecond. I have to calculate only this time. So it means that this counter should start the counting from here. This counter should start the counting from here, and it should stop the counting at this point. At this point, the counter will stop the counting automatically. Why? Because when this line will cross the time axis, means when the value of the signal becomes 0, when the value of the output of the integrator becomes 0, at this time the output of this comparator will go low, and when output of this comparator will go low, it will deactivate this AND gate, and deactivating the AND gate will not allow this clock pulse to pass to the counter, and counter will stop counting at this moment. But counter will keep counting in this region also, because until the value of the output of integrator is greater than 0, because we are comparing the input at the non-inverting terminal with the 0. So until this value, until the integrator output is greater than 0, the output of this comparator will be high, means 1. Until the output of the integrator is greater than 0, the value of comparator will be 1, and until this value is 1, the counter will keep counting. And when the output of integrator crosses 0 here and becomes negative, when this output of the integrator becomes negative, means this signal becomes negative, it means that it is less than 0. When it will be less than 0, the output of this comparator will become 0, and at that moment this 0 will disable AND gate, and this AND gate will stop the clock pulses from passing to this counter, and the counter will stop counting. So counter is counting in this region also, because the output of integrator is high here. Also it will count in this region also the output of the counter is positive. So but I have to start the counter at this point only. I have to start the counter at this point only. In this region, the counter should stop the counting. It has to count only in this region, because I have to count only this time tau. So what will we do? I will add another modification. I will do another modification in the given circuit by connecting this signal B, by connecting this signal B to the input of this AND gate through a NOT gate. Means this signal is B bar. This signal is B bar. It means that when this clock is high, when this signal is high, in this period, this B bar becomes low, because it is connected through an NOT gate. When this signal is high, this switch will be connected to Bx, and this AND gate will stop the counter, because it is one input of this AND gate is 0. In this period, when this signal is high, means when this signal is 1, when this signal is high, this input of AND gate becomes low and it will stop the counter. It means that until this signal becomes high, until this signal remains high, in that period the switch will be connected to Bx and counter will stop counting. And when this signal becomes low, this switch will be connected to minus Vr. When this signal becomes low, this switch is connected to minus Vr, and when this switch is connected to minus Vr, means at this moment, when switch is connected to minus Vr, this will, because this signal is low here, then the output of this NOT gate will be high. When all these three signals are high, this clock pulse will pass to the counter and this counter will start counting at this moment. And after this moment, the counter will start counting. It will keep counting till this time. And at this time, because the output of the comparator becomes low, at this time, at this point of time, output of the comparator becomes low. Again, this comparator will stop the counter. So in this time interval, this signal is stopping the counter, and after this time interval, after this time interval, this signal B bar will stop the counter. In this region, from 0 to T1, this B bar will stop the counter, and after this signal crossing the 0, this comparator will stop the counter. It means that from 0 to T1 B bar will stop the counter, and after this signal tau, after this time period tau, this comparator will stop the counter. So the counter remains on in this time interval only. See again what is going here. This clock pulse remains on for one time period. Half of the time period it will remain on for 1 millisecond, and for other millisecond it will go low. This is the signal which is I am indicated by using B. This signal is V. When V goes high, at this moment this switch is connected to Vx, and until this switch is connected to Vx, this signal keep rising, and after 1 millisecond this signal B goes low. When this signal goes low, the switch is connected to minus Vr, and the slope of this signal starts decreasing. Slope of the output of the integrator starts decreasing, and after time tau from T1 this counter stops counting because the output of the comparator becomes low. When this clock pulse is high, the switch is connected to plus Vx, and when this clock pulse is high, B bar becomes low and stops counter. Again, when this signal becomes low, the switch is connected to minus Vr, and B bar becomes high. When this signal becomes low, B bar becomes high, means at this moment this clock signal becomes low, switch is connected to minus Vr, and B bar becomes high, so the counter starts counting from here. It will count till in this time interval only. After this time interval, the comparator will stop the counter. So now calculate this voltage. Height, calculate this height. Once we can calculate this height by using this information given here, rate of rise of this signal is kVx. It is rising till how much time? It is rising till T1. Because it is rising till T1 and rate of rise is k into Vx, then this height h will be equal to k into Vx into T1. By using this slope, also we can calculate the height h, and this height h will be equal to minus k into Vr into tau, because the time interval of falling is tau and the rate of falling is minus k into Vr. So we can write h as k into Vr into the time interval tau. We can equate these two. So we can write k into Vx into T1 is equal to k into Vr into tau. This k will cancel out. So we can write from here Vx is equal to tau by T1 into Vr. This T1 is known to me. This is 1 millisecond. This tau I can calculate by using the value of the counter. Counter will start counting here and it will stop counting here. So If the end of this time means after the tau millisecond, if the value of counter is C, then this time tau can be written as C by F. So we can calculate this tau by reading the output of this counter. The reference voltage known to me, tau is known to me, T1 is known to me, only unknown is Vx. So we can find out the value of Vx by using this relation. We can use some other circuit to reset this counter when counting starts. So counting starts when this signal goes low. Counting starts when this signal goes low. So I will connect this input to the reset pin of the counter. This is negative edge triggered. So when this signal will go low, because this is negative edge triggered, when this signal will go low, it will reset the counter, and after that time this counter will start counting. So this is the complete block diagram of dual slope digital voltmeter. I will repeat again the working of this voltmeter. The clock generated here is 1 megahertz, and because we are using a frequency divider which will divide the frequency of input signal by 2000. So after dividing the frequency by 2000, we will get the frequency of this signal is equal to 0.5 kilohertz. The frequency of this signal will be 0.5 kilohertz, and if the frequency is 0.5 kilohertz, then the time period of this clock pulse will be 2 milliseconds. If the frequency of this clock period is 2 milliseconds, it indicates that this clock will go high for 1 millisecond and it will go low for the remaining 1 millisecond. When this clock is high, this will control circuit will connect this switch to the Vx, and when this clock pulse goes low, this control unit will connect the switch to the minus Vr. And when it means that for 1 millisecond this switch will be connected to Vx, and for the remaining 1 millisecond this switch will be connected to minus Vr. When this switch is connected to plus Vr, the slope of the output of the integrator will keep rise. It will rise till 1 millisecond, and in the next 1 millisecond it will start falling. It will start falling, and suppose after when the switch is connected to minus Vr, after tau millisecond the output of integrator becomes low, and after tau second when this output of the integrator start decreasing, and after tau millisecond it becomes 0. When it becomes 0, the output of this comparator will become 0 and stop the counter. So because this signal is connected to AND gate through a NOT gate, it means that when this signal becomes high, the counter will stop counting, and when this signal is high, this switch will be connected to Vx. It means that until this switch is connected to plus Vx, the counter will not count. Until this switch is connected to plus Vx, this counter will not count. And when this signal goes low, this switch is connected to minus Vr, this counter starts counting. It will count till how much time? It will count until the output of this integrator goes to 0, crosses 0. When the output of this integrator will cross 0, this comparator will stop the counter. It means that this counter will count only in this interval. This time is known to me because the frequency of this clock is known to me, and this time will be calculated by using the reading of the counter. These two times are known. The rate of increase and rate of falling of this signal is known. So by using this relation, we can find out the value of this unknown voltage. So this is the complete block diagram of dual slope digital voltmeter, and also this is the complete working of the dual slope digital voltmeter. Thank you.